Today, I want us to discuss how we secretly feel like we are financially stuck, but we don't want to admit it because maybe sometimes you actually don't even know maybe there's a financial problem that is actually going on and you don't actually realize that it's something that you're supposed to do. So today, I want us to discuss 5 ways you can know that you're financially stuck and some of the solutions or some of the steps that you can take towards making sure that you change the situation. Hi guys, welcome again to another episode of Financial Literacy. My name is Jane Dishu and I'm a financial advisor. First sign is if you're living paycheck to paycheck. So this means that every time you receive your salary, you pay your bills. Like for example, you just pay your rent, you do your shopping, you have your transport money, and then boom, you don't have any cash with you. And you feel like this is something that goes on over and over. And most of the time you don't even realize it's a problem. You start even normalizing it and you start saying, as long as my bills are paid, as long as I have transport money, as long as I'm doing this and this and this. So you basically feel like it's okay to actually live like this. And this is not something that most of us realize that we're doing because we feel so comfortable paying our bills, but we really forget the main reason why we are making this income is to make sure that we can be able to achieve financial freedom. And this can only be attained if maybe we are setting some amount of money going to our savings and investment. So the solution to this problem is making sure that you track your expenses. This is by having a budget, making sure that you are allocating your money going to your expenses. This is needs and wants. These are your living expenses, like maybe paying rent, other things that you need to do, and other luxury ones, and making sure that you also have a category where you are saving and investing, and in case you have your debts, you're having some amount of money going to paying off your debts. So this is a very important thing to do. And one of the famous tips that I give when it comes to budgeting is to use the 50-30-20 rule. 50% going to your needs, 30% going to your wants, and 20% going to your savings and investments. So once you do this, you will know how you're spending each and every coin, and it means that you don't stop spending because you run out of money. You actually stop spending because you have allocated all the money that you have to the right places, and also to make sure that you stay afloat when it comes to your financial freedom journey, because you're also putting money aside to facilitate that in your savings and investment journey. The second sign is in case you don't have savings and no emergency fund. So if you find that all your money you have been spending, you don't have any savings, or if you have any savings, you will save this month and next month you actually have an emergency of maybe your transport is not enough. Like it's actually the same thing. All your money is going to just surviving and that's it. You don't have your savings and investments. I know famously, most people will be like, why do I need to put my money aside? Or why do I need to put money aside? And maybe I'll make more money. I'll be wealthy overnight. I'll have a lot of money. I'm working towards it. And this is a famous feeling that makes most of us actually even postponing our savings and investment journey, or actually feel like we don't really need the emergency fund. And let me tell you, if you don't have an emergency fund or any savings, most of the time, in case of an emergency, you're going to find that you're getting into debts. Either you're getting into Fuliza, maybe you're getting into mobile loans, Shylock. Some of you are even borrowing your friends. Some of you borrow even your family members. Some of you are even borrowing your colleagues. So most of the time, you'll always find that you are not lacking maybe some amount of money that you owe someone. And the worst case scenario is when you actually start getting an advance. So every month you're starting, you actually have spent into the next month's salary. This is quite dangerous because it means that you cannot actually make major financial decisions. You don't have financial freedom to actually even choose the life that you really want. And the solution to this is actually making sure that in your budgeting category, you actually have somewhere that you are saving, and start small as any amount of money, even 500 Kenyan shillings per month to 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000. The whole point is making sure that you have put something in your savings and investment journey. And even when it comes to building your emergency fund, which is the most important thing in your financial freedom, set a small goal. Like for example, you can start, I want to save like 20,000, which is my monthly expenses. And that means I'll have 1 month worth of my emergency fund. And this means that you can make a decision within a month and then move it to maybe 2 months, to 3 months, to 6 months, to 1 year. This is going to make you motivated, and this is going to give you something to actually work on. The whole point is to make sure that you are starting. So just start today. Stop postponing. And in case you don't know how to set up your emergency fund, or you actually don't know where to start in your savings and investment journey, this is where you actually reach me out on my Instagram page and book your consultation so that we can have this conversation. Sign number 3 is if you are stuck in debt cycle. This means that most of the time you find that you're borrowing more loans to actually pay existing loan. Like if, for example, you owe a mobile loan, like maybe Fuliza, or maybe you owe Easy App or something close to that, you actually go to Okash or maybe Tala or branch, you borrow there, come pay this one, and then once you pay this one, you want to borrow another one. So most of the time it feels like it's something actually cool because you have these people giving you money, and every time you actually pay them, they increase on your limit. But let me tell you, the amount of money you're actually losing when it comes to the interest that is going to paying off these expensive loans, it's quite high. And most of the time, I always say, if you cannot be able to manage your debts in a very nice way, or if your debts are not good debts, they are bad debts, or you borrowed for your expenses, most of the time you're going to get to a point where it is even affecting your mental health, or it is actually giving you stress and pressure. This is something you don't want to be. This is a situation that you don't ever want to be. And one of the solutions into this is making sure that you have a debt payment plan. This is where you decide that I list all your debts or everything, every person that you owe, and then the amount of money, and then you decide that you can be able to slot this amount of money from your budget, and you're going to maybe start with one of the expensive loans or maybe the smallest debts that you owe. This is going to keep you grounded. And in case you don't know how to start paying off these mobile loans or maybe or generally all the debts, I have really done whole YouTube videos, 2 YouTube videos actually, on how you can be able to understand how to get out of these mobile loans and other debts, and how you can actually be able to get out of them. So make sure to watch this video so that you're well versed on how you can be able to come up even with a payment plan and how you will get the freedom at the end of the day. The fourth sign is if you don't have an income growth, like, or if you don't have another source of income. Like maybe you have been working for 5 years, some of you 10 years, 15 years, 4 years, 7 years, and you have never had a salary increment, or you don't even have another source of income. That's actually a sign that you're financially stuck. This is one of the reasons why you need to work on your income. We are having inflation day in, day out. Life is becoming more expensive. The cost of living is quite expensive these days. So if you would like maybe spend 1,000 2 years ago maybe to buy shopping, it would be more things that you would right now. So imagine having a constant income for over even a period of 3 years. It's going to get you draining. You're going to feel like you don't have enough. Most of the time you'll even find that you're not actually able to move or to make a major financial decision because your income is actually stretched. Your income is always on the neck, and life always become hard. And this is because you don't have another source of income. One of the solution is to make sure that you have another source of income. The second solution is to negotiate a higher pay, maybe where you actually employed right now. If they cannot be able to pay you more, you can actually move jobs, apply for a better job, because I know if accountants were earning 50,000 maybe 5 years ago, right now accountants are not earning 50,000. There's always that margin growth because of the living cost. So companies always adjust on the minimum wage or the amount of money they are paying their employees. So if your current employer cannot be able to give you a salary raise, it's time to actually check on your CV and actually apply for a better job. If maybe these are solutions that you have already done, make sure to learn a skill, make sure maybe to go back to school, improve on what you already know, the knowledge that you already know. You can also maybe start a business or a side hustle, start something, sell maybe your consultation course, do something like this, sell a service or something close to that. The whole point is to make sure that you're actually earning more than you have been earning. So this is a hack that I have also given a whole YouTube video on how you can be able to successfully start a side hustle. Make sure to also watch that so that you can also get some of these side hustle ideas that you can actually start in 2025. The fifth and the last sign is if you don't have any plans for the future. So in case you actually don't know what you want maybe in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and even in the extremes of maybe your retirement, you don't even think across those things, this is a sign that you're financially stuck. And most of the time, we really feel like it's a thing of, we only live once. There's no actually need to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to provide for itself. And most of us even get to a negative corner where you're actually not dreaming, you don't even plan what you really want with your life because you're financially stuck in this way that you don't feel like you want to expand. And this is quite dangerous because in case of anything, you're going to be found in a very bad dilemma, and you will always remember that I used to earn 10 million, I used to earn 5 million in a year, or maybe 2 million, or even 1.2 million, or even 600,000, and I actually don't have a car, you don't have a piece of land, you don't have a home, you actually lived to only pay bills. And let me tell you, life is not interesting when you're only paying bills. Life is interesting when your money can actually give you the life that you deserve, or the life that you really want. So one of the solution into this is to make sure that you have financial goal. You can start from where you are right now. Make sure, like, maybe to budget, successfully budget. Make sure maybe to be debt free by a certain time of period. Make sure to set up an emergency fund. Make sure maybe to have a sinking fund. Goals like maybe even have a retirement fund. Start on your first investment. Buy your first car. Maybe even build your own home, own assets. Make sure that you're financially making this decision. So start from where you are, as simple as the goals that I have stated. And goals don't have to be very ambiguous. You start from where you are, your life, and your desires, or things that you really want for your life. So don't get rushed by what other people want. Work within what you really want, and then make progress over time. And because I love all of you, I have a bonus sign for you all. And this is quite important because most of us actually don't really realize how important it is. So if you constantly find yourself avoiding conversations about money, you hear anyone talk about money, you're like, I don't want that. You hear anyone gives tips about money, I don't want that. Or something close to that. You get easily triggers when we have money conversation. You're angered easily when there's money conversation. And one of the ways of dealing with this, or solution on how to deal with this, make sure that you read more financial books. Make sure to watch more of these similar videos. Make sure to also listen and follow the right content. Just change your 4IP to making sure that you're becoming financially literate. This is going to make you get more tips, understanding your money personality, and also understanding and changing your financial habit. I always say you can never change something by running away. The more you run away from it, you're actually creating a longer term problem, which is going to cost you more and which is going to affect you more. So face your fears and let us have this money conversation. And this is where you actually make sure that you follow me, subscribe, to make sure that you're also getting this content. And if you know someone who you can share this content to, make sure that you actually share this content so that they also benefit. And finally, one of the things that I want you to know, that even if you're feeling financially stuck, you don't have to feel like it's a new thing to do. The fact that I know these signs, it's because there are other people who have experienced this, or myself, I have also experienced this. So you're not alone. The whole point is you don't have to be stuck forever. You can actually be able to change this conversation by making sure that you're developing the right financial habits, by making sure that you're taking the steps and the solution that I have actually given you, so that you make sure that you have started on your financial freedom journey. And I hope this video was helpful and you'll be able to actually change these habits. And let me know in the comment section some of these signs that you feel like you have secretly not been knowing. And let's have this conversation on the comment section of some of these signs that you can actually relate. And until next time, thank you.